time you have heard you're born success. And then you look at your life and you're like, where is success? I'm not successful. Then how come I am born success? My name is Alia Jamal, the love coach. And in this short talk, I'll be sharing with you how you are born success and why you are not successful or you cannot see that success. So you can use these principles in your life and really get to be that powerful, magical being that you are in this body. So let's look at it from a perspective when we are born. When we are born, every child is born with full potential. We have unlimited potential, but very few of us actually get to live that potential. And the reason very few of us get to live that potential, because when we come in this world, we get surrounded by all kind of challenges. Our parents might be having their own stuff going on. It might not be an emotionally healthy environment for that little child. For you and me, it might not be a healthy environment. So the child starts developing its own inner process to survive. Because at that time in our age, survival is the most important thing. Success is the last on our list. Survival is the most important thing, because human babies are one of the few in the animal kingdom that we cannot live if no one is there to nurture us. So we need our parents. If the parents are not emotionally healthy, or if they are going through their own financial relationship health struggles, we start to adjust ourselves. Our subconscious programming get adjusted to survive. And when we get older, so now, right now, you might be in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, or 60s, or above. And you're just like, I know I have the same potential. There's a voice within you. It's saying, I know I can do it. Then why am I not doing it? Why I don't have the same success as I see everyone else has? Whoever you're comparing yourself to. What is going on? So what ended up happening during that 0 to 7 period, we create this inner process. So from that point on, anything that's coming to us, it's going to go in and it's going to get processed through whatever we are thinking or whatever we are perceiving. And those perceptions, those thoughts, and those beliefs are created in an early age. So that's pretty much, you were born success, and then, somebody or something just covered up all your success. And then you keep struggling rest of your life, and you can feel it. You're like, I can do this. I know I have this within me, but why can't I? It's like having that invisible cloak that you don't even know how to take down. So I'm going to share with you some very cool and quick ways that you can start doing this for yourself. So let's say if you have a project in front of you, let's say you just started your business or you're thinking of starting your business, you have this project in front of you. What's going to happen? Doubt is going to show up. Fear is going to show up. Worry is going to show up. Then you'll be so confused that you'll be like, oh my God, maybe I don't think so. I can actually do that. And then you go back to being the way you were before or whatever safety that you had. But that voice within you would be like, no, go for it. Go for it. Try it again. After 2 years, you give it a try again. And then again, same kind of things are happening. So what's going on in your mind? There's always 3 voices in your mind. If you start paying close attention to it, there's 3 voices in your mind. The first one is the voice of fear. Whenever you're starting something new, whenever you're attempting something new, whenever there is a situation that comes in front of you, fear would be there. Fear would say, and that voice talks to you like, don't do that. Don't go there. Don't meet with this person. Don't have your dreams too high. Don't have your hopes too high. It has a negative don't voice to it. Now, fear is very important. Fear is biological. It's built in us so we live. So we don't kill ourselves because we are that powerful and that broad of imagination. So we make sure that we are staying safe physically and not, jumping off of the cliff. So whenever a voice of fear shows up, if you slow down your thinking a little bit, just ask yourself, is this the truth or is this a lie? Now, a fear that's trying to just keep you safe always has a lie in it. When you ask this, is it true or is there a lie in it? When you ask that question, the fear would go poof if it's not real fear. And, if you look at it, if there's any truth, you might be in real danger. You might be, going and deal with people who are not really honest. And you might be taking routes, or you might be going from places that are not really safe. So then you get to decide if this fear is real or if this is a lie. And you can use this very easy mechanism to work through your fear day in, day out. Now, the second voice that we were talking about is the voice of other people. Now, that is big. That is massive. Now, that is the voice that we get as soon as we are born, or even before we are born. We can hear mom and dad voice. So that is the voice of mom, dad. If you have grandparents close by, that could be voices of your sibling, that could be voices of your teacher, your close friends. So those voices are everyone who was around you in your younger years or even older years, who you consider to be an authoritative figure in your life, or they were somebody important. Now, this is the voice that's going to bring judgment. It's going to say, what's wrong with you? Why can't you get this already? Why you're such a loser? That is the voice that's going to bring judgment in your life. It's going to bring anxiety in your life. It's going to bring guilt in your life. And when you are trying to move through that voice, you're literally pushing like a 1,000,000-pound boulder. You're trying to push through it. And then we get exhausted, we get tired, and we're like, you know what? I'm just going to put my dreams to a side, and I'm just going to do something that feels safe right now. That is the voice that makes people quit on themselves, on their own dreams. That is what makes us quit on our success, our right to be successful. That is the voice that makes us quit, because it's so hard to push through it. And that is a voice you can't really push through it. You can push through it, for maybe a few years. And then we see, we have stressed out, burnt out entrepreneurs who are on anxiety pills. And they're like, oh my God, this is so hard. When am I going to retire? They lose their passion. And then they're just sometimes they're even bedridden. And then they go through their own healing process. And they're like, okay, I need to get these voices out of my head. There is a very easy way to do it. You don't have to go through that whole, tormented pathway to get there. You can do it very easily. So this is how you're going to do it. Every time that voice shows up, look at it and first ask yourself, could it be voice of your mom or could it be voice of your dad? The first reaction you're going to get like, no way, it's not their voice. They never talk to me like that. When you were little, when you were 0 to 7, if your mom said, don't put your finger into the socket. I am a mom. I do that all the time. I mean, when my son was little, because kids will just go and put their finger in there. Your subconscious took it as a rejection, as like, you're not good enough. You might be like, but how's that possible? I was 2.5. Your subconscious mind at that time was just absorbing. So now when you're grown up, your mom loves you. She wants you to be successful but your subconscious mind is stuck with that voice, because in that time when you were putting your finger into the socket, at that time, you were just shocked and you were like, oh my God, somebody just screamed at me. And it was a big deal. It was a big deal for you when you were 2.5. So that voice is stored in there. that you're always making mistakes, you're not doing the right thing, what's wrong with you. But that voice is not yours. That is the key. Understanding and realizing that voice is not yours. It's somebody else's. It's your mom's, or it's your dad's, or it's your teacher's voice, or it's like everyone who was around you. We get so attached to that voice within us, that critical voice that's always trying to put us down, that we refuse to accept that it could be somebody else's voice. Because when it talks to you, it seems like it's your own voice talking to you. Because mom and dad talk to you that way, and then you continue talking to yourself that way. Like when I started this journey, I was like, no, none of the voices are my parents' voices. Till I was like, okay, what if it is? What if it is Alia? Let's look at it. And one by one, I started thinking, it's like, oh, none of those voices are mine. So that is the first thing you can do whenever any voice shows up that's trying to pull you down. Ask yourself, is it mom's or is it dad's? And have the realization it's not yours. And then do another step. If the voice is saying, what is wrong with you? Why can't you get this already? Go into acceptance. Say, it's okay if I can't do this right now, but I can learn. It's okay if I'm not perfect. I can always learn more. I can always excel, because no one is perfect. So you start working on acceptance, accepting yourself just the way you are. Because that voice, the voice of others, it's so big, it's so loud within you. It wants you to be someone else. Not you, but someone else. Not sure if you can remember when you were in your diapers, maybe your mom said, why you're not potty trained? All your friends are potty trained. Why you're not eating your vegetable? So-and-so and their kids, they eat all the vegetables. That comparison. Now, parents do it because they don't know how damaging it can be for a little child, and how it can program them to start comparing themselves to somebody else. But the thing is, you are a unique being. There's no one else like you in this universe, not just in this world. There's no one else like you in this universe. You're that special. So you're not going to be able to do things the way other people did, or you're not going to be able to, even your success is not going to look same as the other people. So when that voice is telling you, why can't you do this already? Why this? Why that? That's when you realize it's okay. I am who I am, and it's okay. The more you move into acceptance, the more this voice is going to calm down, but you have to be aware of it. Otherwise, you can spend your whole life trying to be somebody you're not. And in today's day and age, where we have technology available and the world is literally, tiny like our cell phone, we can look at so many people and compare ourselves. It is a challenge right now to remember I am unique. There's only one of me in the universe. So this voice of others that's telling me, why don't you become that? Why don't you become that? Why don't you work like this? Why don't you do this? We have to look at that voice and realize, first of all, this voice is not mine. So I don't really have to listen to it, and then move into acceptance. If you do another step after that, that is the fourth step, you're going to be the master of your world. And that is taking back the authority. Now, what is that concept? When we were little, mom and dad were very important. Mom and dad were like, right here. They said no, it means no. When we need money, we go to them. If they don't give us money, that means maybe you're not going to be the cool kid in school because you can't get maybe the cool stuff for lunch, or you can go to the movies. So they were controlling everything that's happening in our life. And unfortunately, many parents, most of the parents, I would say, they don't know that the child is actually dependent on them so much that they look at parents as an authority, and that authority need to shift to a child's hands. We don't see it that way. We're like, parents, always parents. You need something, always run to them. They will always provide you. Sometimes we feel entitled that why our parents are not providing for us. All that is happening because that authority shift has not happened. So now let's say, I'm just going to assume, let's say you're 30-year-old, 40, 50, 60, whatever, is your age right now. You're that many years old. And a part of you still thinks like, oh, I wish my mom would really like what I am doing. Oh, I wish my dad would really approve of what I am doing or how I'm living or the choices I have made. That, my friend, is where the authority still belongs to your parents. That's where you need to bring it back into your court. I approve of myself. I am the authority in my life. I am the one who's going to call the shots. I am the one who's going to decide how much money I can spend. What am I going to do? If that is good enough or not. I am going to decide if I need to quit right now. No one else is going to decide that. Slowly, if you start shifting that authority back to you and not expecting your parents to be your supporter, your rock, and your cheerleaders, your life is going to feel so much lighter. Because when we put that weight on our parents' shoulder, while we are adult, we are not little babies anymore. And the weight is still on their shoulders. We feel so heavy. We feel like we are indebted to them, to please them, to get their approval. And if you are in that cycle, my friend, the success is sitting there waiting for you. You're not going to be able to get to it because you're trying to be somebody you're not. So if you have kids, I highly recommend once they get to the age like 11, 12, 13, you start having this conversation with them. Hey, up until now, you've been seeking my approval and you've been coming to me for all kinds of validations, but I want you to start learning to do that for yourself. That would be the most precious gift you can give to your child. Start giving that authority back to them. Hey, you need to start approving yourself. There would be time, I'm not gonna like what you do, but I am a separate person from you now. Like for parents, it's so hard because we love to control. It's so hard. It's like, oh my God, how am I gonna let go of that control? You will be giving your kid an early chance, a head start on their success. Because what I'm going to talk next is going to literally change how you think about it. So that was the voice of others. And we talked about 4 different steps that you can follow to start shifting from that voice. And that voice is usually so loud. Now there's a third voice, and that is the voice of your soul. You can say soul, you can say your higher self, you can say the other part of you, the invisible part of you, whatever you like to call it. Now that, my friend, is the treasure you came in this world with. When you're a little baby, you're born with that voice. And that is the guide who's going to take you towards your success. You follow that voice, it's impossible for you not to be successful. It's impossible. That is the voice that is the voice that takes you through anything and everything. But what happens? Because every other voice is so loud, the voice of fears and the voice of others is so loud, we don't even hear that voice. That voice comes to us here and there. And then we're like, I don't even feel, it's just like chaos in my head. Now, this is how you can tell what is that voice. That voice always talks to you in a very gentle, loving, kind way. And it's directive. It will say, do this. Maybe you remember when you were 17 or 18, the voice said, get a job. Maybe the voice said, choose this major. Maybe that is the voice that quit your job and start your business. So that voice is always guiding us. But here's the thing, because we have not connected with that voice, all of our life, we don't trust it. I'm like, I'm just going crazy. I'm hearing this voice that's telling me to do all these things. We don't trust it because that voice is going to take you through unknown. It's going to take you into a territory that you have no idea what it is about. But that guiding light is going to guide you through wherever you are going or wherever you're meant to go. And that's always a success for you. That road might not be successful for someone else. That's why never try to copy someone else's success. Connect with your own inner wisdom, your own soul, and then follow that path. When you follow that path, you're satisfied, you're successful in your own way. We all look at success differently. For some people, it means money. For some people, it means possession. For some people, it means impact. Whatever is your definition of success, and however you compare yourself with others, this is the voice that is going to get you there. Now, if the voice of others is so loud, you're not going to even hear this voice. That voice keeps talking to you all day long. You're not going to hear it. If you don't go into acceptance, it's okay. I can have all these problems that these voice of others is saying. It's okay. If you don't go to acceptance and the place of unconditional self-love, you never get to connect with this voice. You keep living your life through hustle, trying to push that 1 million pound boulder and getting exhausted. And then your nervous system is burnt out. And then we're like, oh, success is only for few. No, it's for every single one of us. If we know how to plug into that voice of inner guidance within us, it does happen through your heart. Once we start coming from this part to this part, it starts happening for us. When you start letting go of the voices of others, you start bringing that authority home and you start to connect with your heart. You start hearing that voice so loud and clear. Then you don't feel that doubt. You don't feel that fear, paralyzing fear. You don't feel that confusion. Oh my God, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing. You don't feel any of that. And everything starts to become smoother, lighter. You start to move through life with so much empowerment. You move through life with so much courage. You don't have to go out and get courage. You don't have to go out and get strength. Sometimes we're like, oh, I don't have the strength to go after my dreams. You already have that strength within you. It's not that there's an energy drink called success. You're going to drink it and you're going to have wings and you're just going to fly towards success. It's all within you. It's all a matter of which voice you're listening to in your head. So from this moment on, if you're not already doing this, whenever there's a voice in your head, ask yourself, is it voice of fear? Is it voice of others? Or is it the voice of my soul? Your soul always talks to you like the most loving and kind voice. It never scolds at you. It never says what's wrong with you. It always guides you in the right direction. It always takes you forward. It never takes you backward. It always takes you forward. It never tries to pull you down. It always tries to bring you up. All you have to do is start listening to that voice of your soul within you. And it will require sifting through voices of others, accepting yourself, bringing authority home where you become the center of your universe. And my friend, you will be successful in any way you desire to be successful. Mm-hmm. It's that easy to become successful. It is yours. So now this is how success is your responsibility. It's your responsibility. We all are born success. God did not make one person successful and the other person not. We all are successful, but it's our responsibility if we are going to let that success live through us or not. And the way we can fulfill that responsibility filtering the voices in our head, bringing the authority home, accepting ourselves just the way we are. Because anything you see wrong with yourself, you can always change it. We have the power to change anything within us, any characteristics. Yeah, the face and the features, some people go for plastic surgery and they change that too. But I'm talking about the characteristics you have. If you feel like you're too lazy, you can always change that. That is the most wonderful thing about us human. We can change and adapt to any situation. But that is where the responsibility is in our hands. The way this universe is set up, everything is already here. Your success is already here. Are you going to claim it or not? That's your responsibility. That's not that universe is keeping it from you because it doesn't like you. We are all loved. We are all success, but it's our responsibility. So I'm going to invite you to own that responsibility today and be like, yes, I am going to sift through those voices within my head, and I'm going to commit to connect to the voice of my soul, and I'm going to make sure that I live that unlimited potential that is within me. Because my friend, we all need you. This universe is not going to be complete without you. We all need you. Whatever you have to offer is going to add to humanity. It's going to add to this world. So don't take it with you to your grave. Don't do that. Start listening to the voice of your soul and start living through it so you become success that you are meant to be. And that is all for today. Thank you so much.